Welcome into today's video, you guys. Who has been on this blush journey with me? Since I started my channel, I have been quite obsessed with blush. I try and review so many new blush. I have over 250 individual blush in my collection. If that's not an obsession, I don't know what is. I have been on a journey to find the best radiant blush, the best shimmery blush, cream blush, powder blush, liquid blush formulas. I love them all. Dewy finishes, matte finishes, you name it. I do not discriminate when it comes to blush. But if you guys have followed along in my journey of various declutters that I have done on my channel, you might know that there are a lot of blush in my collection that I don't get back to. There's only 365 days in a year and I only have 2 cheeks. And I'm always testing a bunch of new formulas. So that prohibits me from doing a shop my stash and testing a bunch of formulas. I've done my best. However, I've still acquired a bunch of new blush and I don't necessarily intend to stop because I love blush and because I can. However, there's just not enough months in the year for me to do a bunch of shop my stash on a bunch of the formulas that I'm not sure about, colors and shades that I'm not sure work for me, textures, finishes, all that good stuff. So I have 62 different blush that we're going to test today on a chopping block style. I am doing this video a little bit differently than I would normally do a declutter where it's overhead and I'm doing a bunch of swatches. But I thought it would be fun because I need to test these formulas, these shades, these finishes to decide if I want to keep these. I went through my entire collection of blush and I have pulled out the ones that I know I don't reach for because either one, they're intimidating because they're so pigmented, or it's a shade that I remember not liking. Again, something that might be not a good texture, not a good dry down, that sort of thing. So I want to try on 62 different blush today. I've got my foundation here. I've got the Kiko Milano full coverage. It's got a doe foot so I can do this fast. I have my wet wipes and I have a million different brush sitting next to me. Let's get into it. Let's just start off with the first one. This is from Chanel. This is a stick blush. It is called the Le Beige Blush number 24. Now, I love me a luxury product. The thing is with this one, like, it does have sparkles, but it's super duper dry and it doesn't show up. So the thing is with this one is that it is very dry. Not that that's like bad, but it definitely makes it difficult to pick up. I think the shade is number 24. It also says Noelle. I don't know what that is. I've always thought this was number 24, but it is like an emollient dryness, you know? So when you start to rub it, it shears out like quite a bit, kind of just more like a flush of color. And I don't think I've ever been like obsessed with this, and it's super highly fragranced. So let's start off with a very tight brush. We're gonna do something, what do we call these? What are these called? Oh my gosh, starting off strong. A kabuki brush, there you go. I feel like that's the best way to pick these up. I will be talking about like the best way to apply these that I have found. I'm not going to take it all the way back to the cheek like I normally would, all the way back here like I normally would. I'm gonna kind of keep it like right here so I can kind of go quickly in taking it off and putting it on. I feel like I've been sleeping on this blush. See, you know, I never reach for this dang thing because I feel like it's not very pigmented and it was really hard to pick up like any color. Maybe I just wasn't using a kabuki brush kind of the last time I used it, because I feel like this is really buildable. It's sitting really nicely on top of powder. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, this is gonna reignite some things, you guys. We may be keeping more than we are getting rid of, but that's okay. I may reuse some of these. I'm gonna kind of do like my brush cleaning in between because then I'll be going through 62 different brushes and that's a lot to wash. All right, let's move on to a Kjaer Weis blush. I guess we're starting with like luxury blush. Now this one I've already decluttered a long time ago. I just didn't have a thing small enough to pop this out because this is a reusable case because this thing is very weighty. This one is in a shade that I don't know, but it's a very popular shade. The thing is, it casts a little bit gray on me, and so it's the reason that I decluttered it, because you know, I don't think that's like super duper flattering when it casts gray. And there's so many other formulas that I have that I'm like, well, I could use those instead that don't look gray. And as much as I like Kjaer Weis, I really do think that, you know, that's the reason that I held on to it instead of just loving the way that the shade looked. See the like, it doesn't look flattering from the side. It looks grayish, you know, with just my skin tone. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it. Some of the blushes do from Kjaer Weis. I'm gonna take a Bella Beauty bar, you know, one of these angled blush brushes, and I'm gonna dig into the product. You know, the thing is, I'm gonna have to commit to actually popping this thing out if I finally declutter this, because I feel like I've put this damn thing on the chopping block so many times, but I'm gonna legit have to commit this time around. It's very texturizing, you know? That's the thing about a thicker kind of cream formula like this, especially if it's shimmery, which we're gonna come across a ton of those. It's like, just, does it give me the right flush, you know? Are we seeing like gray this way, you know, and then this way it looks nice? That's kind of what I'm thinking here. It's just such a barely there color, really, that it is kind of nice. It is just very texturizing. Where, you know, a cream formula like this from Chanel, super duper smooth. Yeah, there's not a lot of pigment. I like the little bit of flush that it has, and you're gonna see there's gonna be a ton of blush that emphasize a lot of texture on my cheeks. So, you know, it's not like I'm opposed to texture on the cheeks. That's like not fair to say, because I'll wear a bunch of stuff that's like that. I kind of like that this is barely there. My preferences have also changed too. When I decluttered that last, I really preferred a more pigmented formula. Now I like something a little bit more natural and a little less pigment. Although I really do enjoy when something stays. I won't be able to test whether or not these things stay on the cheeks for a super long time, but at least I can say that, yeah, that probably suits my preference a little bit more in the way that it looks when it initially goes on. All right, let's move on. Let's go to a duo. This is from Simi Haze. It is a Broken. It snapped on me. You know, there's not a lot holding this thing together. They do sell it Sephora. You know, it is magnetized, so it's still staying. This is called the Solar Tint Blush Duo in Tropic. So you have one side that's a little bit more matte, and then you have another side that is a dewy finish. Now, I've raved about this blush from Simi Haze. Pieces are just falling off here. In that it is a very nice formula. I don't reach for it. I don't, and I don't know why. Because on my last declutter was when this broke. Here's the more matte. Oh, it's really nice. And here's the dewy finish. So the last time I used it, it wasn't broken. So, you know, that wasn't like preventing me from grabbing it in any way. I don't know, it gets pushed to the back of the drawer. I don't think about it. It's not that I don't remember it being nice. I'm taking a Real Techniques 401 for both sides. It won't matter. I'll start with this and then maybe clean it off. I'll probably switch to let the brushes dry. Just about that much. Yeah, I remember liking it. So I don't know, maybe it just is because it got pushed to the back of the drawer, or because it wasn't like, you know, one of my favorite blush from memory, and so it just got ignored. I also pivoted too from using really orange blushes to more pink blushes this year. And that also probably plays into it too, that I was ignoring a lot of the orange blush that I had. But now I love that I have a really versatile, very fluid collection of blush colors. Honestly, I think this is like hardly any product that's on this. I'll just use the same one for the other side. It's like stained, but I just cleaned it off so we can get the dewy finish on this side. So I feel like now I kind of jump back and forth between the orangey blushes and the pink blushes. And also, you know, I've gotten really into like lavender blush too. Now I'm not powdered, so a lot of what I'm looking for in these creams is like, are you disturbing the foundation? Some of them don't even sit well on top of powder either. This dewy side is definitely lifting some stuff underneath. Also, I'm using a super dense brush too, so that's gonna have something to do with it. I mean, I love both. See the glossiness that this just gives? And it's like a really nice flush of color, like it's not too much. And then this, they're perfect. They really are. The product still smells good, and I've had it a while. Preservatives, what are you gonna do? And unless it looks bad or smells bad, I don't typically get rid of things. And I think I can like maybe put this in a rotation and get some more use out of it. So this I am gonna hold on to. And the fact that it's magnetized like this, like it's closing most of the way. So it probably doesn't have super long now that like some bit of it is kind of exposed, but okay, we're gonna keep this one. More pieces just breaking. All right, next we're gonna go for 3. I got these in PR from DD Signature, and they are very, very pigmented. It's not a bad formula. Again, I have pivoted my thinking in terms of blush and my preference really, in that something that is a little bit more buildable is kind of what I'm looking for. Not that I won't build up an intense blush, but I hate dialing it back, especially because, man, in 2025, my schedule has gotten so crazy, so I have a lot less time to be working with a lot of blush. Like I need to go and I need to be buildable formula, because if I'm working to like dial it back, then it's probably not quick. That's just kind of how I feel. So this one's in Peachy Glow, and these are all a very, I'm gonna call them a matte formula. I don't think they have a lot of dewiness. A Lilac Mist is probably my favorite, so I may keep like 1 or 2 shades, but I don't think I'll keep them all. Although she let me pick, and I picked all 3. Nude Petal. But these are like the range of ones that I would like typically reach for, you know, something a little bit more pink, and then a lilac just because I'm getting into lilac, and then, you know, a peachy one. That's the range pretty much of my collection. That's kind of what you'll see in various depths and tones, I suppose, but typically something pink, something orange, and something lilac. Although not a lot of the blush that we're gonna try on today is gonna be lilac. All right, so with this one, I'm gonna take a nude petal first, and I'm gonna back of the hand it, because this is what I mean by kind of dialing it back. I'm gonna take a clean sponge and pounce it in. You know, nude petal is probably my favorite of these because the lilac shade honestly comes out a little bit pink. I think that one of the things that I really enjoy is a lilac that comes out very cool tone purple, you know? Like doesn't get neutralized by my cool undertone and just start looking pink. Oh, this one is so freaking pretty. Like this is a buildable, delicious, very, very, very nude shade. So that was terrible to start with. You know, I'm probably gonna end up keeping a lot more of these than I am decluttering them, but at least like for you guys, I don't know, different formulas. If you're into blush, then you get to see it. You know what? Let's do the peachy glow one on the other side because that is going to be a side by side. I'm taking a different sponge with the other one because, you know, this one's gonna obviously be brighter and I don't know if I need this one and the nude petal. I mean, not that I don't love a peachy blush. It's just, you know, I have a lot of peachy blush. Damn, that's pretty too. So yeah, they're more matte, but they're not flat, you know? This says glow, but it's not a dewy finish. It's like a glossy finish. Oh, this one's prettier than the nude petal. I don't know, y'all. Okay, this one's a maybe. We don't know about her yet. You know, the thing with that one is I used a dot, like hardly any. And what I'm trying to do is like, if you're not like obsessed in love, then why are you keeping it? Because if you have 250 blush in your collection, it's gonna go bad before you even get to it, even if you do like it. The thing is, I'm just such a collector. Like that's been the issue, you know? Same thing, I'm gonna use a sponge. This is just gonna come out very pink. I'm gonna go through so many things today. So I don't know if I need a pink or do I love it. I mean, these are really the way to apply these blush is really to take I take a dry sponge, to be honest with you. I don't have time to wet it. I'm telling you guys, like when I'm talking about the timing that I have, oh gosh, you guys, I'm like late to work like every day, okay? It's like, it's not good. I mean, that's pink. That's not really lilac, but it is very pretty. I mean, I kind of even like the fact that my blush is like ending here, you know, and I'm not going all the way back like I normally do. Oh, that one's too pretty. Okay, I really enjoy this one and the nude one. Like these are slightly unique. You know, this is lilac but pink, but not too purple. It's kind of nice. It's a really cool tone pink without being super white based. You know, that I don't get a lot. So I am going to finally declutter my first one in Peachy Glow. I mean, I'm telling you guys, not that it's not good. I have other peach formulas, like colors and formulas that I like more. These are just different kind of unique shades for me. I mean, maybe not, but still like in a formula like this, like these are the shades that stand out that make me go, oh yeah, okay, like I remember it now and it's definitely something I like. Let's do Bosma next. This is the cream blush in the shade Mauve. Now the reason that this one is in here very specifically is because I struggle with mauve shades because I'm someone who likes a mauve shade that's very cool tone. I don't like a mauve shade that is like a dusty shade. If you're gonna be like a dusty color, you need to be like a dusty rose. I don't know, I don't think mauve and dusty rose should be the same. And I think this is more like a dusty rose shade, you know? That's how I feel about it. Even though it comes out like this color, it comes out so much warmer on my cheeks. It always has. So unless I am remembering incorrectly, that's really the reason I ignore this one constantly. And also, it's not the best at drying down. It does get a little bit sticky unless you really tap it in, and then it kind of diffuses the color out, maybe too much. It has not been my favorite formula as far as like creams go. Okay, we're taking another Bella Beauty bar, and this is like an angled kabuki brush. I'm sure it's meant for foundation originally, but who cares? I use any brush, anytime, anywhere, as it suits me, and you should too. All right, let's see if this comes out warm toned as I remember it. Why isn't it not coming out warm toned like I remember? Oh my, what is happening? Why does this look so much pinker? See, I feel like this brush, you know, Kabuki brushes are the worst with cream. Sometimes I feel like I need them because they're not super pigmented, but then man, like the stippling it in that way really does disturb my foundation. Like almost every single time. Okay, it's not focusing. Damn, that looks so much more pink, you guys. What happened? My undertone didn't change. Some of this foundation is not blended in. Damn. See, compared to this one and this one, like you can see how much more matte this is. Like I'm getting a little bit of a glossy finish, but like, whoa, that one's really glossy. It's coming out a lot less warm toned than I remember it. And maybe it's a memory thing, you know? I'm glad that I'm doing this video, okay? I hope you guys are enjoying it too, but I'll tell you right now, like I was not going to get to testing all of these without doing some sort of sit down and some sort of video to like fuel me to get this done, because these are all formulas that I ignore. 62 different blush that I have not reached for probably at all in 2025. Okay, that may not be true because some of these I tried in 2025, but I haven't reached for them since I did a speed reviews, or I've barely touched them since I got them. Okay, I really like that one. We're going with it. Layering this foundation is starting to look a little crazy up close. Let's go to another luxury one. I've had this one for a while too. It's from Le Bouche Rouge, and it's a Le Blush Nude. That's literally the color. I think they only come in one. It's a stick blush, and it comes in like, it's very cursory, very rudimentary packaging, and it is a very dry formula. It is extremely difficult to pick up because it is so small and it is so dry. I'm not saying that this isn't a really good blush, but it's definitely one that I have ignored because you need time. You know, you really do need to sit here and kind of work it into the brush, and it's so little. It is so little. I'm like, what do I grab? Okay, this one is like stained but clean. It's from Wet n Wild. Nice kabuki brush. I've had this one forever. Look at it, it's all frayed. Okay, maybe you can't see. I don't know if this is stiff. Oh, I just nicked it. Dang. I don't know if this is stiff enough, but you know, to coat the whole brush, it's kind of like getting in the center, which makes it like extremely difficult to apply. I got this owie right here. All right, let's go. You know, now that I've done a couple of nude blush, you know, something like this, I think I hold on to because it was luxury. It was very expensive and I liked it. Like I liked this and the highlighter that I bought from Le Bouche Rouge. They don't make a ton of products. They have very limited things, and I don't know how I found them, but nobody talks about Le Bouche Rouge. Like they don't put anything out. I haven't seen any like new releases, so you know, it gets ignored. Okay, this is a very light blush, and there is quite a bit of product left. Like I have not used it all that much. I like a nude blush, but this one also isn't, what am I doing? This one also isn't flat. You know, it has like a little bit of a glossier cream finish. I can't remember how this dries down, but this is like a nearly nothing blush. A barely there blush, if you will, but in KARIM land, it's a nearly nothing. Here's the packaging. Like you guys, it comes like, bloop. You know, it's so funny. It's so silly. I mean, it's all compostable packaging. You can recycle it. It's probably a comparable amount of product, you know, compared to some other formulas. It is pretty expensive, but guys, there's not much going on. And this blush smells like nothing. It never did. It doesn't smell like makeup. It doesn't smell like bad, good fragrance. There is their logo there. Can you see the Le Bouche Rouge? I mean, it is really pretty, but gosh, it's almost not even there. So is it like almost not even worth keeping? You guys, I think I am gonna finally declutter this blush. It's not that it's bad. It's just like, it doesn't stand out over other ones. I will continue over the years to ignore this until there is nothing left. And if it was one day that I really needed something light, like that's when I'm sure I would think of to reach for this, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. All right, Glow Recipe. Now this is a newer release and they just came out with shade extensions. There were only 2 shades that came originally. It's the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush, and this one is in the shade Watermelon Flesh. They also had like a berry flush or something like that, something that was more red. Now they have 2 more shades that came out. But see the packaging? See how pink this is? I thought it was gonna be pink on the cheeks. Watch when I pull this out. The blush is like orange. I mean, I understand like a watermelon color kind of doesn't lean, like it's maybe it's a warm toned pink, warm toned red, something like that. But this isn't watermelon to me. And so I was thrown off by the shade when it got here. So actually I have totally ignored this since I've done a speed reviews. This is one, honestly, you can just draw straight onto the cheeks because it's pretty sheer anyway. I'm gonna use a brush that I think is dry now, back to my Eco Tools brush. the complexion buffer. And you know, who knows if these brushes are even made, but I feel like you do need something a little bit more dense with this blush. Oh, it's picking up everything. You know, that's the thing with these, is that are they really good with a full bead of foundation, or are they more makeup, no makeup? See how warm this is? Like, I don't think this is coming out super pink on me. Maybe more pink today than I've noticed before. I feel like the whole foundation that was there is now gone. Am I just doing the best blush application today, or what is happening? Why does everything look so damn pretty? I'm struggling. See how warm it looks in orange right here, but does it look pink? I'm getting so much more pink right here. Oh dude, I need a little cover up right here. It's a little bit tinting too. I got a little bit of leftovers on the back of my hand. It's juicy, but it disturbed the crap out of my foundation. So you know what? This one will go in the maybe. We'll kind of keep testing, you know, against maybe other formulas that are in a similar shade. I kind of really don't like when it takes up too much of the foundation in a bad way. What I mean by that, like, is it literally by stamping it in looks like it just pushed the foundation to the side. And you know, part of that's my problem or my fault, because that's what these stippling brushes will do. But you know, sometimes they do not blend into the cheeks well if you're not doing them with a finger, if you're using a tool. That's something, like a product like that, and as dewy and as emollient as it is, you could probably buff it in with your finger. I'm not a big, you know, hand user as it pertains to makeup products. Did I put my foundation on this morning with my hands? Yes, I did, because I was really trying to sheer it out. It was way too dark. I don't know if you can tell, but I just bought it and it's too dark, and I'm so mad because it's actually a repurchase. But yeah, that's what happens when I buy online. So anyway, I was using my fingers, but I don't usually like to do that. Although we could have done that this way. So I don't want to say that my method here was not the reason that this came out the way it did. I've got two more. So I've got Victoria Beckham Cream Stick Blush. This is the Cheeky Posh and Knickers. This is so similar to the Chanel. It always has been. I've always kind of like compared the formulas. Although this one is a thicker formula. The one from Chanel, remember I was saying like it was dry, but it was still emollient. This one is thicker, and I think it's dewier. It doesn't have the same like dry down that the Chanel one does. But again, very similar to the La Bouche Rouge, which is like you get like this tiny little freaking thing. It's a little bit stiffer. So I feel like you kind of do need a like a tighter brush to apply it, you know, and then coat the whole thing. Although this is not as dry, so you do pick up more than the Chanel. They are not the same formula, but they are very similar shades in orange. You know, I think the reason that I held on to the Victoria Beckham, I'll be honest with you, is because it was Victoria Beckham, and I'm pretty sure I spent like a pretty penny on this. You know, that's such a shitty reason to keep something, but it's definitely what fuels me. You get more use out of it because you spent your money. Oh, this is taking like a lot of product. Like this is not as intense or as pigmented as the Chanel one for sure. But you know what? I think it almost looks more flattering than the Chanel one. And by that, I kind of mean it disturbs the what's going on underneath like a little bit less. The Chanel one was very, very nice though. I was comparing it against the other one to show you like how smooth it was. This one is even smoother, if that's possible. How much product is left? Like a lot. Like I have not used this a ton. I've had this for years. 4 years? 3 years? Something like that. Smells fantastic. So yeah, this one like a little bit more radiant than, oh, this is so flattering for a radiant blush. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? I just, I really do want to keep that one. No lie. Okay, from REM Beauty, the Cheek and Lipstick in Audition. Now I have gone back many times to look for a different shade because I love this formula. I think it's like, it's a pretty cream to powder formula. Like I won't say that it's like super matte on the cheeks, but it does feel like a powdery finish. It's just been a really intense shade. Like what are my kids doing downstairs? It's so freaking wild. It is always been a little bit on the bright side. RIP Flower Beauty. I'm taking a Flower Beauty blush brush and we're gonna pick it up with this. It's a little bit fluffier. I'm trying to not use like a stippling brush again. It's always been a pretty intense shade, you know, like, oh gosh, now I have to wait and dial it back because it's pretty intense. And so I've actually wanted something that wasn't orange. I've wanted something that was a more pink, but the shades online are so hard for me to decipher whether or not I'm gonna like it. And not all the shades have been in stock when I've gone to Ulta to like swatch them, or they haven't all been available for me to swatch, you know. Some of the displays aren't that great, and there are some folks in there that, you know, kind of take them Is this, you know, I'm going in with such a light hand, like so much lighter than I normally would on all these blush, that they're actually starting to look a lot better. You know, I think that's kind of the thing. Application makes a difference. See how warm this is? Very warm. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty, but you really have to use a fluffy brush with this. I almost need notes, you know? One of you have even suggested that, but girl ain't got the time. Oh my gosh, look how freaking pretty that is. You know, that's the reason I haven't gotten rid of this, is because it really is a nice looking formula. Nice looking formula. I mean, it's a nice formula to work with, and it's kind of a nice looking blush. Like, so the lights are beaming onto my cheeks, and so you can see which ones like do offer like a little bit of radiance, but I tell you, I think that's just like inherently in the cream product. It is quite a cream to powder formula. Like, look at this. It dries down really well without moving. This is a blush that lasts all day. And she also had recent shade extensions, like 3 or 4. Am I crazy? I'm pretty sure. Guess where I put that, you guys? I put that in the keep pile. Should we get to some ones I'm pretty sure are gonna go, or are you guys gonna lose your minds because I've only decluttered 3? This video for me is gonna be so long. This video for you guys, I hope it's no more than an hour, but you know, you never know. I'm a talker. Let's try Tarte. This one, by the way, is in the satin. Yes, the satin finish in these. And these stink. And one of you said, well, just take off the doe foot. It's like, okay, you know what? I have been doing that. Look, it comes off like so perfectly. So we're gonna throw it away. And then the blush formula still smells. Okay. Like, why do these liquids just not do so well? So this Tarte one is the blush tape in Satin Bright Pink. I bought it online, and quite frankly, it's a little bit too bright for me. I didn't realize like how bright it was going to be. You know, sometimes I buy blush and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love that shade. And then I'm like, what? You never wear shades like that. What were you thinking? Do you guys ever do that? I can already tell you, I do not like this color. Like, this is too much for me. Like, even sheared out like this, I don't know. Even though I just said I was going for more pink blush, and I have, it is so infrequent that I will grab a shade like this. I mean, there's a time and a place to look a little bit more youthful, but guess what? I just pulled this puffy off. It still doesn't smell the greatest. I have not been loving the puffies lately, and I have been someone who has said many times, I don't mind puffies. Yeah, when they're first new, I don't. But then, you know, they don't do so good super long. So another puffy. Oh, by the way, did I say, I'm just gonna get rid of this. Like, I have other pink shades, and I don't think I would go this bright. The lights are up, so it may not seem like super bright to you guys, but like in person, it's a little bit more bright than I like, and I don't like the way the formula is smelling. So now we're up to 4 decluttered, in case you were wanting to keep track. The one from Milani is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush Plus Glow in 150 Cafe. Now, I really like this shade. It also has a puffy. I mean, that's not the bad part about it, but the bad part about it and why it came in this one is that it's a metallic formula. Gosh, it really, really looks textured on the cheeks. I mean, I love this shade. It is a warm neutral. I mean, that's not really a thing. A warm nude. Sorry. Not getting a lot that's coming out. But yeah, it is definitely metallic. I'm gonna go ahead and like dot it right onto the cheek. I think you can. It's pretty emollient. I'm gonna take the e.l.f. buffing foundation. It's dry now from my cleaning it off. This one is just so texturizing that I ignore it a lot. You know, not that I don't love the shade, but again, you know, sometimes extra texture is so obvious if like you're in a group setting or something. It's just not what you want, you know. You want to be like smooth cheek. Ooh, like that was so light. Where did it go? Let's build her up. Ooh, now maybe it went too heavy, too far. Ooh, that'll be a good test though, as to how much this is going to texturize the cheek here. I feel like I'm only going to apply blush like right here moving forward. Every blush I put on is so pretty and doesn't look too much. I don't know, you guys. It's pretty thick of a formula, and up close, it's definitely moving things around. Yeah, I'm glad I got rid of this. This bright pink is just, it's not me. It's really not. This is much more my shade. I think it looks best with my undertone or whatever. Like, I think it looks good with my hair color, my skin color, my undertone, my color palette. It's moving so many things around, and it's a puffy, and I don't feel like it smells all that great. great. I think I'll move this to the maybe. You know, this was in the maybe. I'm just going to declutter it. Really, I probably won't reach for that. It's too juicy and it really does disturb too much of my makeup. And I'm not a light foundation wearer. I'm a pretty heavy foundation wearer. So, I mean, no matter what, it's probably gonna look that way on me on an everyday basis, the way I wear my foundation. Like the only time I would use something that juicy and glossy, like over a face of almost nothing, is like if I was, I don't know, traveling, if I was really doing something very, very light, which just, that's not an everyday situation. Let's be real. You know what? I'm just gonna pass this along. I'm just looking at my cheek as I'm taking this off and I'm like, girl, there are so many more flattering formulas. Stop the collections. Collections, like there's more than one. Stop the collecting, you know? Okay, I am popping in because my camera died while I was filming this, and this is actually the final day. So I noticed it when I was like moving the files over that some of the files were corrupt, and they become corrupt when it doesn't save. And when it doesn't save is when the battery goes to full dead, like it just dies. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, there were 5 blush that didn't get recorded. So that's what we're doing. I'm hopping in here, you guys. Again, you're gonna see me later where I'm gonna look like this because it is the final day. It's just so much later in the evening. So I was like near tears when I saw the 2 files were corrupted. Near tears. So I need to get this done because I don't want to wait any longer. If I wait any longer, then I won't be able to edit it and get it up at any time. So I am gonna start off with these because I do give you the decision in like the next clip. These are from Juvia's Place. These are like the shimmery finish. I like these like a lot more than the original, which was super stark matte and super pigmented. I have Rosy Posy Glow, and then I have Soft Tulip Glow. Now, arguably these are very similar in the tube, but I do think that they are very different when they go on. Oh, I'm dropping it. Different in that you can see there's like a tonal difference, like quite a bit. So I won't give it away. I will hop out when I'm done putting these on and I'll tell you guys which ones I end up keeping. So this one is Soft Tulip Glow and Rosy Posy Glow. You can see how much more bright pink the Rosy Posy Glow is. Just gonna use the brushes that I have here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a kind of fluffy brush and go into Rosy Posy Glow. I'm not saying these aren't like really pigmented, but they're not as like intense as the other ones, the ones that are non-shimmer. And these are like a metallic reflection. They're a little different too. Oh, it's so intense. And it's very, very bright pink. Like you could go in lighter than this, like if you wanted, you know, but they still intense. All right, I'm not gonna add any more to the back of my hand. I'm just gonna take Soft Tulip Glow and then I'm gonna go on this side. Hopefully I picked up enough that I can like really show you. And she's there. This one is just brighter, but it's also more pigmented. So I'm pretty sure I tell you what my decision is. In the next clip, you'll be able to see like what I say. Do you think I would get rid of this one or this one? Because I do let go of one. All right, here we go. Guess what? I'm gonna be realistic. Oh, by the way, my battery just died. Like this pink, this is pinker than a pinkin. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different because it has this goldiness to it, which is really gorgeous, but I don't think I'm gonna reach for a blush this pink. I think it would be too much if I did like a pink eye look and something this bright. It's not something that I would normally do. Wow, I almost knocked that freaking mirror right off the table. But this is like, this still has a pinkness to it. It's just not like a bright pink. So I'm gonna pass along Rosy Posy Glow and I am going to hold on to the Soft Tulip Glow. I don't see myself reaching for this on an everyday basis. And if I'm really gonna get use out of something, instead of going, that's pinker than I normally like, then I probably need to get rid of that Rosy Posy Glow. All right, you guys, let's go through my Fenty Beauty blushes. We're moving on to something powder. I have like so many shades in these. The Fenty Cheeks Suede Powder blushes. I mean, I have like as many as I could get, and there are a ton. There are a ton on her website. They even have different shades on, I'm trying to get back in center frame, a ton of shades on Ulta. Like sometimes the crossover doesn't happen. You know, you don't get the same shades on every website. So like I've been trying to buy every single shade in this, but some of these don't work for me. So I think I even have like one more somewhere and I'll find it before we move on. But I do have 3 blush here in total. So the other one was the limited edition collection of the Hot Cheeks Velour Blushlighter in Fresh Peach. I just want to see if it's really like too glittery for me. Anyway, this shade you can see is a bright red, and it's in Daiquiri Dip. Now, I did some underpainting with this originally when I got it because I saw someone else kind of do that. And I felt like that was actually probably a decent way to do a red blush, but I didn't like the way that it looked, especially because I use a pretty heavier foundation. But this is like super duper pigmented, and it's almost kind of like a cherry red. The formula is soft and smooth and delicious, and that's why I have 6 of these, 7 of these. Realistically, I don't know if I'm gonna go for a blush like that. All right, this is a BK Beauty, not BK Beauty, a BH Cosmetics flat powder brush. Let's go ahead and tap a lot of that off. Oh, did it all come off? I mean, I think we need to go in super duper lightly. I'm just trying to be realistic. This is one of those where it's like, am I ever gonna use a red? I didn't know how pigmented it was gonna be, okay? I mean, that's why I got it, and I think I picked it up at TJ Maxx. So, is it even red, you know? Like, these just don't blend the greatest anyway because they're so pigmented. I'm not saying they're bad at blending, but like, they stay where you put them. Does that even do anything for red? You know, like, does this give me a benefit to being a red blush in my collection? Because it kind of doesn't even look red to me. Gosh, I worked so hard to dial that back. I don't even like the way that shade looks on me. No benefit to this. I'm gonna pass that along. I knew I was. All right, next let's do What a Brat, which you guys told me don't get. It's extra sparkly. And it is sparkly, but it has like a decent base to it. It's a pretty bright pink, but again, I got this so cheap. I was like, oh, I'm taking a chance. Let's do a dense brush. This is like a dupe to the It Cosmetics. It's Lamora, you know, the foundation, the heart brush from It Cosmetics. It's a nice foundation brush, but we're gonna use it for this. Now this one I have never used with a dense kabuki foundation style brush. I've always done it with a fluffier brush. So I have always gotten a lot of the sparkle from this and not a lot of the base. Doing a brush like this, I'm gonna get more of the base and probably less sparkle. So I think I might like it. You know, that might be the way to really apply a blush like this. It's very cool toned. Do you see that? Do you see it? Do you see? I think I like What a Brat. It's also kind of just looking like a flat powder blush, you know? Like, where's the sparkle at all? Where's the sheen? Guys, that's kind of nice. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I like it. You guys are gonna have such different preferences. You're gonna be like, why did she keep that one and not this one? I don't like a red. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. You know, if I do a crazy eye look, and let's just say it's like a red eye look, I would rather grab for a very nude blush than I would a red blush to try and match it. You guys look how much nicer it actually is when you use it with a really dense brush. Like, do you guys agree that there's a far fewer sparkles happening here? And it's kind of like this really nice buildable formula with just like a, what do you call it? Like a silver sheen on top. I'm gonna keep What a Brat. The red is just, it's too much for me. Here's the other one. It's in the shade Riri. The reason that I think that I should get rid of this one is honestly because I think it was just too deep on me. I mean, I love this formula. So good. This one is almost like, I wanna say it like flips, you know? It like has a purple to pink flip. Let's use the same BH Cosmetics really fluffy brush, and let's go in like super lightly again with this one. This looked brownish on me. The thing is, I want to love these. You know, like when I pick this up, I want to love the color, not be working so hard to remember what it looks like and how best to apply it. That's part of my problem, is that I don't remember those things. That's why certain things get ignored. I mean, this is nice if you're using like a really fluffy brush. It's a beautiful formula and the shade isn't bad. I think it's pretty. Really lightly. I think it's pretty. Like, it's almost like warm, cool, warm, cool, warm, cool. The flip is warm. The like top color is cool. I don't know. It's a kind of a weird shade, and I think that's why I couldn't like figure it out or get down with it. It is really pretty. It just looks like an almost like an eyeshadow, you know? Something where you turn and it's like a different color. So I don't know like how convinced I am that this is like an easy one to use, but it's like cool. Warm, cool, warm. I'm gonna keep it. All right, let's move on to this one in Fresh Peach. You know, this one I feel like we should get another pretty dense brush because this has a lot of top sparkles. Like even more so than the What a Brat shade. And it's like baked but hard. Where the other ones, I don't think they're baked. Look how light it is. It's like a lot of sparkle on top. And I feel like it feels dry. You know, for a baked formula, it feels awfully dry. All right, we're going in with the Bella Beauty bar one that I had cleaned off some time ago that is now dry, that is a little bit more of a dense angled plush brush. By the way, like I have a discount code of Bella Beauty bar. Do I have any blushes from her? Oh, I do. I do have one blush in here from her. That if you guys are interested in checking anything out from the site, like my discount codes or affiliate codes are listed all the time, but I guess I've just been grabbing a bunch of Bella Beauty bar brushes. I had cleaned them. Oh, I can't. I love this. I love this. I knew that I loved this. See, the thing is with colors like this, I'm a sucker. If it's like that pink orange or hot pink orange with the gold on top, this is a go-to color for me. I very much like this with no highlighter. I mean, why would you wear a highlighter, you know? There's not a lot of base to this, but my recommendation would be do a denser brush and then you get more of the base, but it's so good. It's like a gold cheek. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a gold cheek. Yeah, I am. There's no way this one is leaving. Oh, if I did like a gold eye look, dense brush it. Texturizing, but dense brush it. Next, let's move on to Nudesticks. The Nudesticks stacks. So I have two shades. They come like this. I don't even know what to say about these. Like these are incredibly, they're dry and they're so small. They come with like a mirror on the inside, but they barely pick up. Like they pick up okay on a swatch, but it's like how much actual product is in here, you know? Like not a lot. They're a really beautiful formula, but they are so hard to pick up on a brush. This one right here is in the shade Barely Nude, which is a really nice shade for me if this thing will ever focus. And Intentional Love and Roses, you know, something more cool tone and pink and then something nude. These are cream, but they're so dry, you guys, so dry. And I understand, like, why does he do this? The screeching. I understand that they're like a cream to powder formula and they do mattes really well. It's just like, it's such little product. You're getting so much packaging for this. It's like, it is intended to be very gimmicky and they spent more on the packaging than the product. I'm certain of it, which is it's not my thing. Let's do Love and Roses first and let's do the Bella Beauty bar, the angled kabuki brush. I don't know if I just used this, but I am cleaning them with like a wipe in between. Let's see if I can't get anything to pick up. Oh, it's so light. Ooh, they are pretty though. Like it's really pretty. I'm not gonna lie that this is not gorgeous, but you can't pick it up with anything less than a super dense kabuki brush. Nope. And even then, look how light it's gonna be. All right, let's go back to the Real Techniques 401 and let's go into the Nearly Neutral, Barely Nude. I don't know what I'm thinking. This one picks up nicer. It's creamier of a formula for whatever reason. You know, I think these are great if you just want like a light flush of color, but prepare to dig is all I gotta say. Oh, stop it. They are really pretty. They are, but man, they are dry. Like I'm sticking this brush in so hard, I'm like creating dips. It's a barely there. It's a barely there blush. Pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. I don't think I've ever used those with such a dense brush before. I mean, that really is the way to go. Ta-da. Ta-da. I'm gonna keep these. It hardly looks like I made a dent in these freaking blush. Anyway, let's move on to one and just one because I think it's time to take a break for today before my cheeks fall off. Let's go into the Milk Makeup Jelly Cooling Water Tint one. What is it called? Cooling Water Jelly Tint. Sorry, this one's in the shade Splash. I've had two shades in this. The pH Freeze or the Freeze one, the pH changing one is awful. It is so bad. But this one in Splash is really good. The one that isn't pH changing has been really nice. I thought that I was gonna get like a beautiful orange shade and that's why I got that one, but no. You can't see it on the skin until it changes and then it's like way too intense. Whereas these ones, because you can see them right away, you can, you can make them juicy without going in like super duper crazy. Now, I think I'm gonna end with this one because it slightly matches like the eyeshadow that I'm wearing. And where I'm going after this is we're going to get, every year we do this thing where we add Christmas decorations, in this case, Halloween decorations. Like, why does he sound like he's caught in a bear trap? It's wild. So we add to them, like not that we have storage for it, but we try to, so we're not spending a gazillion dollars. And so that's how we've been adding up our Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations every year. So today we are going to do that. And if I take too much longer, I mean, we're not gonna have time to do it. It is Sunday. I'm telling you guys, my schedule has been absolutely bonkers. Okay, see why I like this? This one, you can see it show up. You can go in light. It's a stain, so it stays really long. The splash shade, even though it looks like I didn't swatch it for you, but I don't really want to. I'll do it on my finger. Oh, take it off, take it off. It's more pink, even though it shows like a deep, deep purple. It just doesn't come out that way. Now, while you beat up the product a lot by tapping on it, I still think that's like the best way to do it. I have never found like drawing it onto my cheeks is the way to go with this. And I think I liked this, but was intimidated every time I looked at it because I just remembered it being like so deep purple. But you know what? I think it's actually really nice, like pink, like a deeper pink, you know, not like a bright pink. I don't know, the bright pinks I just don't love. And I think the benefit to this is that it is so long lasting. You know, you aren't just getting like a gimmicky product. I really feel like it's gonna last you all day. And it's kind of juicy. I mean, I'm not saying it's not gimmicky, but it is. But it's still a nice formula. So I'm gonna leave this one on because it's time to go. Actually, now that I look at it, like it's a lot more bright pink than I remember it being. Like, do I even want to keep it? It's looking so bright. Like, I really like this formula. And as much as I'm like grabbing for purple shades, it's not really the purple that I wished it was. You know, this is way more bright pink. I'll keep it. I'm going to keep it. And I'll keep it because there are a few bright pinks that I like. Not a lot, but a few. And the benefit to this is that this shit lasts all day. It has actually been an entire week since I filmed this. So I looked over my choices. I'm actually really happy with what I've already decluttered. I don't have any regrets so far. We have a ton more to go. I don't know if I'm gonna get them done like in this sitting. There's a lot here that I was like unsure about. And the rest that like I become unsure about as I go, I'll just put into, you know, everyday makeup drawers, like just shop my stash and like try and test them. All right, so let's do Moira. I've got 4 different blushes from Moira that I'm not sure about. You know, these Love Steady blushes, they're on the matte side, I think. I can't even remember. And I have 3 shades. And then I bought one of the Love Steady shimmer blushes. This one is recent. I'm trying to think, like, did I even, you know what? Let's leave this one out because I haven't even put that in a speed reviews yet, so I haven't even talked about it. But let's try on these ones. So I have one that's a little bit more pink that's in My Everything. I remember these being like really pigmented. And again, I'm not necessarily into super pigmented blushes these days. It's so funny that it goes back and forth. That one right here is in My Darling. That one is My Everything. And this last one is in Honey Pie. I think I was trying to go pink, mauve, and then peach. So that's Honey Pie right there. It's a decent shade range, but these kind of look like they're separating too. I mean, they're not that old, what, a year at this point? Shall I just do the back of my hand and pick it up with a brush? That's probably what I'll do. So I'm trying on Honey Pie first, which is the more peachy shade. We're gonna take, you know, one of these stippling brushes. I'm kind of like shearing it out on the back of my hand. I remember liking these. It's just, again, like, am I working too hard to get this to sit onto the cheeks? And I don't want something super matte anymore either. Oh, stunning, stunning. It is really pigmented, but it's not matte like I remember it being. This has like a little bit of a gloss to it, although we'll let it sit for a sec too to see if it dries down. I don't really want a matte blush. I also don't want something that's super texturizing either. I had to re-up on wet wipes also. All right, let's go into My Darling, which is the mauve shade next. I might not need like all of these shades if I'm being honest. I'm liking pinky peach shades a lot like this recently. I'm gonna take another flatter kabuki brush, but again, just like really tap it out. Oh, there's a hair there, my hair. I mean, right about this time of year, I'm definitely wanting to reach for more warm toned blushes just in general. I mean, not necessarily that I'm doing like warm toned eye looks, like obviously today is a pretty cool tone look, but just seems like so much more appropriate these days, or this time of year rather. I mean, that's okay, but why does it look more flat than this side that looks juicier? There's not a real reason for that other than the shade. I have like a bunch of shades like this just over and over and over again. Like, I don't know, this one doesn't like add a ton. It's kind of a boring shade in my opinion. I like this one so much more. I'm gonna leave that one on and then take the My Darling one off. I have to say, this is like such a crazy exercise to do this like over and over again. By the way, today I'm using a much thinner foundation. Oh, this one's the best for taking on, putting off. What? Taking off and putting on. Okay. The Super Blendable Foundation from L'Oreal. All right, let's go into the last one, which is My Everything. This one is definitely more baby pink. Really, again, kind of not a shade that I'm reaching for a ton. But if it's sheared out, it would be nice, you know, like one little pinky, one little peachy. Again, some of these more dense brushes, I'm not sure like really the way to go with these. And I've been decluttering a lot of like super bright pinky shades. Again, I don't even want to reach for shades like this until we're like kind of in the summertime. My son is now playing Little Nightmares. Do you guys know what that is? 3 just released. And he's already beat the game, but like now he's just obsessed with playing it. Listen, these two shades are so freaking similar that even the one that's like supposed to be more pink looks less pink than this one. If I'm being honest, they're awfully similar. And this one just has like a really hot pink vibe. And that's kind of what I like. If I'm going pinky peach, I definitely want like a hot pink, hot peach, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, I didn't layer this up a bunch, but I mean, honestly, I'm okay with just honey pie. Like, I don't need these and I'm just not gonna reach for them. Like, I know myself, if there's one shade that I like and in that kind of formula, I don't feel like I need more. So we'll declutter these two right here and then we'll just keep this one. And also, for whatever reason, this one was like the glossiest. I don't know, it could have been a brush thing too, but sometimes the different shades, they don't always come out the exact same finish. Believe it or not, that's what I find. All right, we're definitely going through these 3 next. So these 3 are like all the same shade, pretty much, in like different brands, different formulas. So Tower 28 is old, so I want to smell it too. It still smells fine. It has literally no smell. There's no weird buildup. I don't know, you know, it's a pretty cool room up here and it's also pretty dry. This room stays dark. I close all the blinds when I leave, so it doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight. So, you know, some of my formulas, I'm surprised they last a pretty good amount of time. You know, I've had different Tower 28 blushes in the past and I really don't like any of the other shades. This is Magic Hour. It's very warm. The one from Moira, I didn't do this intentionally, but they did come out very similar shades, is the Love Heat Cream Blush and I Respect You. They're different formulas, I think, but these two are the stickiest. Like this one is definitely more whipped. It's a thicker texture if, you know, I like had to kind of compare. And then this one is very, very different. The Flawless IRL Blush in Audacity from Uoma by Sharon. So it's like the more affordable line that sells in Walmart. And for a while I thought this was like no longer there and they might have pulled this line. Honestly, I don't know. But this is like a cream to powder formula made in Italy. Like this is the smoothest feeling. Oh, it is so smooth, but it's also the warmest shade. You can see kind of the thicker texture of the Moira one. And I also had a different shade in this too and decluttered it because I didn't like it. It was too bright pink, but like look at, they're all very warm toned. It's just that this one right here, super duper warm, almost like a terracotta. And the problem is, for it being like a warm shade though, it's extra pigmented. And I feel like I can get away with it if it wasn't so pigmented. Do I want to do a sponge? I almost feel like I need something a little bit more fluffy for this one because it is so pigmented, and then kind of tap it off. You know, I have to say like this one's probably my favorite formula of the 3. It's really just the easiest to work with and it's not flat looking, but the cream to powder makes it, I don't know, it's not sticky and it kind of makes it nice to apply and easy to work with. And all 3 of these have decent lasting power, but this one for sure lasts the longest. You know, this is a nice like warm toned option. If I'm looking for something terracotta, I honestly might just hold on to this one. I don't know yet. I am going in pretty light with these blushes. Like, so hopefully you're kind of getting the idea of what they look like and they're not all just kind of coming out like super similar. Like this just is super smooth on the cheeks. So there's not a lot to not like with that formula. Let's do Moira next. You know, it's such a sticky lip. Like it's so damn sticky. I really just don't even want to stick it into the thing. This is pretty though. You know, not as warm toned. It's disturbing some of the foundation though with this little stippling brush. Oh damn, that is pretty too. You know what? If I'm going for something deeper, I kind of think I like this one like better than this one. This is just a little orange for me. Damn, I really like the Moira one. And it's not terribly sticky once it gets to the cheeks. I'm like biased because honestly the right side of my face has a lot less texture and I like the way blushes sit on the right side of my face more than the left side. So I'm like decluttering everything I put on the left side. That's hilarious. Hopefully I told you what the Moira one was in. I respect you. Yes, I did. Let's go into the Tower 28 one. Woo! This one's pigmented. Oh my heavens. Let's tap some of that off. This one I could probably pan, you know, if I tried. Oh damn. You know what? Like shade wise, I think I prefer both the Moira and the Tower 28. I just don't love how deep and like orange looking the one from Uoma Beauty is. Yeah, see, if I'm going for an orangey, sorry, a warm toned blush, I also love the way this little Eco Tools applies. I think I'm gonna keep the two right here. These two, they're not sticky too much. Like once they get to the actual cheeks, they're definitely sticky on a swatch, but it's just a shade. Like this is definitely an easy, maybe a preferred formula on most occasions. The shade is just too much. It's too deep for my skin tone. I do realize like even on the swatch, this is more terracotta than I'm normally grabbing. So I'll declutter that one. I'm keeping these two. Let's do this one from Kaja because it's just like the singular one. I don't have another one from this brand. Well, I do, but I don't want to test it. Now, I love this formula. It's one of my favorites from 2024 when these released. These are called the Dewy Bars. This one's in Berry Sparkler. Now I have the Fig Smoothie, I think is the other shade, which I really do like. It's a pretty deep mauve and these are very pigmented. But I picked this one up, this berry shade, at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of them. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it because I love this formula. But at the same time, I don't know that I loved this shade. So I'm gonna go in with something pretty fluffy. This is like an e.l.f. buffing foundation brush. I've already used this one. Again, like I'm cleaning these off as I'm going with my wet wipes here and then like drying them or like letting them dry. That's like the best I can do. Otherwise, I told you guys I'll be going through 45 million brushes. Probably like 60 if I used one each blush. Okay, so the thing is these are extremely juicy and extremely pigmented, so like I am shearing them out a lot. Like that's my dabbing this off. And I feel like you kind of have to do that because you're gonna wanna build, otherwise it's gonna be cray cray. Now the reason we're testing this one is not because of the formula, the very, very juicy, delicious formula, but because this is a very berry shade and I don't often wear berry shades. I think I finally just got comfortable, like putting my legs kind of like tucked under the chair. And I think I went in way too heavy the first time that I used this, or actually probably every time. I'm trying to think like, are there moments where I'm going berry like this, which looks awfully pink on my cheeks, you know, when sheared out like this? Is there really a time where I go this berry? I'm trying to be realistic. That's the thing. Am I actually gonna reach for this? Like, it's cute. Is it too much? Also, I added more just so you guys could kind of see. Like, I wanted to really see the color, but I feel like you even need to shear this out even more, which is totally fine. It's a delicious little juicy formula. Like, I do like me a juicy blush. It's just like sheared like this, it is baby pink. So what's the purpose of a berry? I don't know. I feel like a lot of ones that are lighter than this, but less pigmented, like they look the same, that one is going to be a maybe for now. I think it's gonna end up being a no, probably. I've never been like that before. Like, oh, same shade, different formula, don't care. I'll collect them all. It's like Pokemon. But I do feel like, you know, if there are shades that are kind of few and far between for me, then I really have to think about keeping the preferred formula. You know, I just think I'm gonna pass this along because realistically, I don't see myself, I'm just throwing things. I just don't see myself reaching for it if I'm being completely honest. All right, this one here is another one that I have another color story in. This is Nymph's Grove. So I picked this up at TJ Maxx also, and I got it because it was a purple blush, which I'm really into purple. But is this, you know, the lilac of my dreams or like just bright purple? The purple one is Cryptic Apple and the other one's Mythic Apple. Now, these are a beautiful cream to powder formula and you can shear these out a lot, but they are ultra pigmented. Now, I think this is a really unique shade, like this one right here. But when I put it on, It was so hard to dial back. I just don't know. You know? Now, the other one that I have, don't ask me, it's in Color Story 10, but I don't remember what the name is. Pretty sure it's in 10. Let's Take a Fluffy Brush. I really enjoy that one, but these, I'm like, you know, are these too much? That's pretty. See, like, this is the one I would want to keep it for. Like this shade right here. It is like a baby pink, but it's also quite cool toned purple too, you know? Honestly, if I'm gonna keep like a baby pink like this is more the color than the berry shade, which was just a little bit deeper. Oh, I like this. I like this. Yes, I do. All right, let's go into the other side. Again, I'm gonna pick it up from the back of my hand. So that's kind of what I did here, was just like give myself a good swatch so I can just take what's here. Like anything else, you guys, is just, it's too much. It is too much. These are cream to powder, but they're not flat. They have what I would consider like a little bit of glossiness to them. Like it's not so powdery that it makes my face look dry. I guess that's what it is. It's like a hydrating matte formula. This is just like a nice little flush. You know, isn't that like kind of cute? Just like, oh yeah, just like you're barely blushing. Yeah, I think I'll keep this one at least for now. And that purple is absolutely great. It's a little bit on the white based side, but it's so unique in my collection, so we'll keep it. All right, let's go to a formula that I do really like. I've talked a lot about. These are from McGrath. These are called the Divine Blushes Legendary Glow Color Balms. I have two shades, and arguably, and this is part of the reason I put them in today's video, is because they come out very similar. Paradise Peony and then Peach Lotus. Now, I put these pretty recently in my everyday makeup drawer and I was using them again, and they were separating the poop out of my foundation underneath. So I was like, you know, do I really want to keep these? Like, I'm actually not sure. They're very balmy. They're very glowy. Sometimes they can be like a little thick. See how similar they are? This one right here is Paradise Peony and this is Peach Lotus. You can see that the peach is a little bit more orange, you know, but not by much. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Eco Tools. It's like dry again, and we'll pick up the Peach Lotus because I think this blush did such a good job not separating or not like beating too hard into the cheek that it was like separating the foundation underneath. Really want to see that these don't do that for me. I mean, they're pretty damn expensive. Like, it's a nice formula, don't get me wrong. I like a little juicy cheek. There goes my son playing his video games. I like me a juicy cheek. I just don't know if we need both. By the way, these are like more on the sheer side and do not last super duper long. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a glowy peach. Not worth the price point in my personal opinion. We're gonna go into Paradise Peony. I have a feeling this one is the one we're gonna end up keeping. Like, it's just gonna check the boxes. It's gonna be like a peachy pink and it's gonna be just fine. By the way, that didn't separate the foundation underneath. Let's see what this brush does. I kind of feel like you do not need to tap this off onto the back of your hand because it's not even pigmented enough for that. And maybe that's the reason. I was trying to build these up so much and moving so quickly, and I was setting it on top of powder that it was quite literally breaking up the foundation underneath. Oh yeah, these are different. Yeah, you gotta go slower and use like a really soft hand in order not to separate the foundation underneath. And also, I have no powder on my cheeks at the current moment from taking stuff off and putting it back on again. Oh, these are too similar for me. I mean, one is pinkier and one is peachier, but do I need both? I think I do. I think I do, you guys. They're just different enough. You know, they look pretty similar when you swatch them, but I can tell this is pinker and then this is more orange, so I'm smelling it. In fact, enjoy this formula, and because it's McGrath, I don't know. I just really like a glossy, juicy ass cheek. And these aren't too crazy pigmented and I really got them to work. So, you know, if I'm really going for something like really fresh like this, I don't know. I like it. I like it. I think I'm more partial to Paradise Peony, but I'm gonna hold on to both of them at least for now. I'll try and throw more that I haven't worn into my Shop My Stashes. Let's do some liquid formulas. I have like 3 different ones here. So I've got the Flower Beauty ones. I can't believe she's closing the brand down. So I won't declutter these just because she's closing the brand. Also, BH Cosmetics, like you can't get these anymore. The Sun Flushed liquid blushers, and this is just in like an orangey shade. I have two colors. I also have a mauve shade too. And I like that shade. It's just like this one is very bright. It's like super punchy. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to keep like this one specifically. Although, you guys, this is an amazing ass formula. Still smells fine. Gotta sniff it. One of my favorite liquid formulas like ever. I have talked about these a bunch. They are like a liquid to cream almost. I'm gonna take this one. This is just a Brushworks brush. Who knows what else? It's almost like a cream, you know, but it's like glossy, but it's also smooth. Like it's a really good formula from BH Cosmetics. And this came out after Makeup Revolution bought them, you know, so this could have been something somewhat proprietary to Makeup Revolution, you know, it's hard to say, but it came out like one of the few things that they launched shortly after they were acquired. So, oh gosh, you guys, like it, see, this formula is so delicious. It's juicy without being textured. It's just very flat on the cheeks. Oh, you know what? I think I just realized, like if I'm going for a bright, pinky, juicy flush, look how pretty, I'm sorry that I'm saying it like that, but this is bright. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Like this is a definite formula if I'm going for something juicy, glossy, but like super smooth. You know, it's not lifting. Oh, it's so good. It's so delish. I don't think I need Peach Lotus. I just don't, you guys. I'm trying to be legit. This formula is older. Again, I don't think you can get these anymore. Like they're completely sold out. I would rather reach for this than the peach color from Pat McGrath. So I'm gonna declutter the Pat, but I'm gonna hold on to that one. You know what? Let's hold off on these two because I'll put them side by side, the Flower Bombs from Flower Beauty. And then let's go into this one. Did I mention to you guys like the shade was on the wrapping of this? So I have no idea like what they call this, but you, again, still can't get it. This is a little mini from Born Ruby. It's the Oh So Natural Blush Drops, but it comes with a puffy applicator. Oh, I guess you twist it. A puffy applicator, and it's a very red shade in the shade Peach Charmeuse. Like it calls itself peach, but like it's red. It's one of my reddest blushes in my collection. Like how do you call this peach? What's a charmeuse? Someone else has told me what it is, so you guys don't feel obligated. It's not worth it. But you know what? The reason I kept this is because this was such a beautiful red, and it's not too intensely pigmented that if I'm going for a red, I feel like this is where I'm gonna land. This is a red that I'm gonna reach for. What was another red that we had? Oh, the Fenty Suede, whatever, these ones, that's a red. I don't think it's as nice as this red. This one's just more sheer and yeah, it's legit. It's not too red is the thing. Why does my hair separate like that? Like, please stop. Yeah, it's just not too red. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. It's mild. It's sheerable. I already said that I really liked this and knew I was holding on to this. It's just that these puffs I freaking hate. But we're gonna hold on to this one. Yeah, see, like it's not too red. Like imagine if I had like a red eye look, you know, and then I threw this on. I feel like it would be like nice. All right, to these Flower Bombs. I want to say these are the only colors that I've ever had. Spiced and then Melon. But I kind of feel like there was one other one. Or like I would like to get another shade. These are like second up in liquid formulas from the drugstore that I really enjoy. The BH Cosmetics would be number one. They're a very nice liquid to cream formula. That's really how I describe these. They feel more like a cream than super liquidy. And shoot, they might be. I don't know. Ooh, I think I'm gonna end up keeping both of those. Just look at them. Ooh, stop. They're so pretty. All right, let's take Spiced first. This is like a more unique shade. You know, the other one's pretty damn bright, the Melon shade. But Spiced, I feel like adds something to everybody's collection, you know? It's kind of a uniquely like brown shade that isn't too brown. It's not too pigmented, you know? It's more like a straight up nude because it shears out so nicely. Ooh, yeah. Look at Spice. It's a very nice nude shade. Oh, so pretty. But yeah, second up in drugstore formulas that are liquid that I like. BH Cosmetics will probably be number one, but I don't know. They're like tied with the Flower Beauty ones. Let's take the Flower Beauty brush for the Flower Beauty blush. All right. This orange one, we need to go in lightly. This is very bright. Very bright. Excuse me, is that a gray hair? No, it's just the light. Is it? Yes. Just the light. Ooh, I can't even talk about grays, you guys. I feel like karma will hit me. I mean, not that going gray is a bad thing at all, but I'll be 41 next month, and so far, not a thing. And I think my mom went gray really fast. Both of those are so pretty. Like, this is truly a nice nude shade if you're looking for something like, it's warm toned, but it's fairly neutral. And this is just a nice poppy peach. I love the formula so much that I feel like there's a lot of shades I would probably take in this formula because I enjoy it so much. It is such a good, like, liquid formula. It is an absolute shame her brand is closing. There's some really good stuff in her line. I guess it just wasn't making money. We're keeping both of those. And I'm back, me again. Hello, from day 3. So there were more I told you that I missed, but like the last one, I don't know, it must have been a short clip, thank goodness. So there are 3 more to go. And I don't know why I chose to put these side by side, but I did. This is the Armani Neo Nude Melting Color Balm in the shade 30. Now these are discontinued. Like, I really hope they bring these back. Now you can find some, but they're pretty much in shade 80, like, you know, aftermarket. Look at this. This is the kind that you swatch and it like literally just keeps going. Like, it's so creamy and it's so pigmented. Yeah, discontinued completely. It's just a really terracotta shade. And so that's the reason that I was like, do I want this? I don't reach for it a lot because it is that really, really burnt orange terracotta, but I have held on to it because I love the formula so much. Quite honestly, the other shades that you find like online, I was telling you, like shade 30, shade 80, which is like a plum, was not a good shade for me. So while I did have it for a period of time, I did end up like decluttering it because it's not a good shade. But I can't get rid of this. Like, so far I have not been able to get rid of this blush because the formula is just so beautiful. When these launched, this and like the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm blushes, balm blushes, they launched the same year. Like, why these are limited edition, I don't know. But anyway, those were my 2 favorite blushes of the year. It is so beautiful of a formula. I'm not reaching for a shade like this all the time, but like if I am though, you know, like how could I deny it? These little baby hairs are gonna drive me crazy. They came loose from this morning. Now I need them to go away. It's not a fashion show. It's Sunday. I'm not even wearing a bra. Let's be real. Anyway, look at how smooth that formula is. Like, if I'm reaching for a shade like this, it's absolutely stunning. I don't always, like I said, but like the formula is so good. Also, the plum shade that I had dried out. It was not as creamy. Far as I know, you know, these were only limited edition releases, so they only came at around the same time. So I don't know why one was drier than the other, but yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of that one. And then the other one is from Bella Beauty Bar. Now, I have a discount code with this brand. You know, she's been launching a bunch of other things that are not eyeshadow palettes. So the Cheek Dewy Blush was a new release last year, and she did some new lip products. Like, she's getting into other things, which is really cool. And so far, I've really been liking the things. The shade on this is Rose Ritual. It's quite pigmented, but it is also like a dewy formula, but not as dewy as you would think for something that calls itself a cheek dewy blush. It's just a really intense, very opaque mauve shade, and it's shades like this that I don't know if I love wholeheartedly. I don't love the way they look on me all the time, but I think if I sheer this out, I will probably like it. By the way, I already know the decisions that I've made, so just I'm doing this for you. I mean, a lot of this is in application, but you'll see throughout this video, I mean, I get rid of a lot of shades like this. It's just that this is so like muted. It's a pretty simple formula to work with. So like if I'm gonna keep shades like this, I want it to be a really, really awesome formula. Also, I love this little applicator. Like, you don't get a mess that's made with it. And I feel like it's gonna make the product last longer. So I am gonna keep that one as well. The next one that I have is the last one that I have. And here's where camera dies, so like the video cuts to the other clip. This one I end up saying I'm gonna keep, and then like later I end up saying I'm gonna declutter. So this does end up in the total of declutters. This is a fairly new release, the Love Steady Shimmer Blush from Moira Beauty in the shade Oh Honey. And yeah, I mean, it's so texturizing because it's so shimmery, but it's also kind of a thick formula. It just, you know, I took a sponge when I was applying it. That was also part of it. Like I say, oh, it's so new, I'm gonna keep it. And I liked the sponge application originally, but like the more that I sat with it, I was like, texture, texture, alert, alert. There are other formulas I have in my collection that I would rather reach for if we're talking like a radiant formula. Like especially a powder blush, there are just other ones that are nicer than this. Oh, that was actually really nice. Like that was my favorite application of all of this over the sponge. This was so much better with a super duper fluffy brush. I have tried it with a sponge. I've tried it with a stippling brush. Like that was the smoothest application that I got. But I literally do not need this. Honestly, in terms of like the other I'm gonna do the other side too. In terms of the other formulas that I have that are like radiant, I'm telling ya, I would so much prefer reaching for those than this one. All of what I have noticed from Moira's releases lately in like the shimmery super radiant blushes is that they lack base pigment. Almost all of them. The radiant powder blushes, which I had bought 3 of them. They're over here ready for a speed reviews for you. I don't know what the other one was, but they were like a freaking highlighter. They had no base pigment. They were awful. I got one shade. It's sitting in my highlighter drawer because that's literally as fair as I am. It had no base to it. And I kind of feel similarly about this one. It's not a heavy base. This one is better, but it's a lot of silver reflect. I don't know, like it's not bad, but it's just not, it's a trend, I guess, is what I'm saying. So you guys will see in the next clip. Thank you so much. See you later. My battery, it totally died. Anyway, I was saying, it would be a shame if I were to just like get rid of this formula like immediately, you know, and it turns out that I can find a way to make it look smoother on the cheeks. So I am taking a different method. I'm not dotting it onto the cheeks like I have been in the past. I'm putting it on a harder sponge and I'm dabbing it out. And I think that really may be the way that this looks metallic and shiny and radiant, you know, without looking super heavy. I will say I'm using a ton of product. So much though. I have swatched this now on my hand 3 times. So that, you know, kind of tells you you're going to be working a little extra hard with this. It is texturizing. You know, am I getting like a ton of pigment out of this? Is it doing what I want? Is it like making me glossy, but it's also going to stay? I liked this method. It soaked up a ton of the product, so not a lot is on me, but it's not bad. Oh, you know, this one's just going to stay for now just because it's on the newer side. That's all I can say about it. I have this one that I want to try next to it just because I kind of have like my blushes stacked on which ones I'm going to test side by side. This is another indie brand, the Rebel Rouge Labs. This is a bronzer and a blush in one. It's a dual cheek product, or that's kind of how I use it, but I think it was a bronzer, like that's how it started. It's also shimmery, so I thought it would kind of make sense. It has like a marbled baked finish, but it's so metallic and so pigmented. I kind of was using it as like an all-in-one fluffy blush. This is from Lift. I'm just gonna use this and kind of, ooh, yeah. She pigmented. Just kind of sweep it all over the cheeks as an all-in-one. No blush, no bronzer, both. You know, I have not been impressed with the Moira Beauty blushes lately. All of them have been kind of too shimmery and not pigmented enough in my personal opinion. This is gorge. This is so beautiful. I have thought about decluttering this so many times because it wasn't like the greatest shade of bronzer, but like, isn't that so delish once it'll focus? Like, look at that. Oh, guys, so pretty. It's making me rethink the Moira. You know what I mean? You know, like if I had a choice between this or that. Okay, well, now we know. The Love Steady is gonna go. Again, I put it on the more textured side of my face, but I can tell you right now, like, if I was gonna do like a shimmery formula or something that's even like metallic, because I think this really is metallic, like look how much more smooth this looks than something like so. Like between this and this, oh, it's gonna be this all day long. This is gorgeous. I'm glad that I put that on again because I'm gonna be wearing this for fall constantly. That is so freaking pretty. I have an appointment at noon today, and then after that we're doing something for my husband's b-day. It'll be like the grown-up night, and then we'll have something with like all the kids in the family, so we'll do them separately. I don't know what time it is, but I think these may be the last ones that we do today. These are the Lumi Radiant Blushes. The lettering is coming off from AOA Studio. These were $1.08, something like that. And these are very similar to this in finish. They are very glowy, but they do emphasize like a lot of texture. So I want to try that kind of on the heels of the other one, because this one right here is kind of a similar-ish shade. It's bronzy colored, but it also has some pink in it, where I don't think the other one's very pink. But I don't know, we might just, those might be it. Or I'm gonna have to find like a cool tone blush to leave on at the last minute. That's maybe what we'll do. All right, let's try on these 2 shades. Golden Apricot. Ooh, so pretty. These are really, really radiant. Really metallic, I should say. But the Golden Apricot, I think is like more texturizing than the other one. Just of the, like, gold reflect that it has. So golden apricot is there, and then the more pink one is in the shade So Close. This is like more silver, and that has like more of a gold reflect to it. I literally said be quiet like 495 times. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh gosh, you guys, I don't know about this. Now my husband's intervening. This is a highlighter, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying here? I don't know. It's so metallic. Let's put on the other one. Oh, this one's nice and fluffy. Did I ever mention that my family is that really, really loud family that you see in public? And then there's my sister. She takes the cake on loud. My mom's up there too. And I think I come in third, but to my husband, it's extra. You know, it's just, we are a loud family of women. I wouldn't say that my grandmother is loud. My daughter's definitely loud women in my family. All that noise is my son. I don't know. We are definitely loud. Okay, what are we thinking? What are we thinking? I don't love this shade because I don't like how gold it is. Like, this just seems like extra highlighter on my cheek. It just seems like I'm trying too hard. This one though is much more muted, and it's like the silver reflect. So because I kept this one, and I like this one so much more if we're going for a shade like this, we're gonna declutter golden apricot and we're going to keep So Close. I think these are really decent decisions. Since this is really the last blush that I can try on, because I do have to Dizude. You know, it's like these two that I feel like I could put on right now and they would like match my eye look. I think I am gonna do the Buttermilk blush. So this one is in the matte finish. I have two other shades that are in the shimmer finish, but these are very pigmented, and this is also not a, like the talking is not working today. This is also not a shade I go for a ton. I told you guys, like these deep pinks, I just don't love them quite as much. I don't know why. Let's go ahead on another super fluffy brush. The same thing, Real Techniques, the 400. I love the way these smell though. They're so delish. Oh, I just put myself in the eye there. Oh, this is so pigmented. Oh guys, I barely touched this. It's so pigmented. And it's super matte. I don't know. You know, still very loud in here. Yeah, I don't know about these. I know that I'm accepting that I will be wearing this for the rest of the day. I mean, that'll give me an opportunity to decide whether or not this is a blush that I want to keep. But like, this is not unique, you know? And I don't love blushes like this enough to be wearing them all the time. Does it match my eye look? Yeah, probably. This one is definitely very pretty with a light hand, and it's not too deep of a pink, so I'm confused. I'm confused. You know what? I think I'm actually going to hold on to this because I'm like liking it with this particular look. I don't think it was too pigmented. It smells delicious. You know, I have shot my stashes with these blushes before, and I think I pulled in the other shades that I really like because they're shimmery but also very bright and pigmented, but I've totally decided to keep them, and have also noticed like how absolutely beautiful they are on the cheeks and how long lasting they are. I mean, in the shimmery finish ones, but I think I do want to hold on to these, or that one. That's it for today. I hope that we only take one more day to get this done. Hope you guys are enjoying. I'll see you later. It's Sunday morning. It's 8:30, and yeah, I'm still in my like pajama shirt, but I put on a full face of makeup so that we could finish this off. I'm actually really excited to do this today because I feel like we can finish, but then also I just feel like I made some really good decisions. Like now I just want to go back in my whole collection and do it. Although the process of this is absolutely awful. So we left off with the Buttermilk blush from NYX. Yeah, I decided like I didn't want to keep it. I have these two here that are shimmery finishes. You know better, which is called a shimmering coral, and then the shimmering tangerine is Suna the butter. Like I so much prefer these shades anyway. They're just kind of like shades I would normally reach for if I'm gonna do a bright. There's the coral one, like really pretty, and the tangerine is very, very bright. But I just feel like if I'm gonna reach for like a pink shade, it's definitely not gonna be this kind of mauve. Like I like a mauve, but I like if it's more muted. That's just kind of my personal preference. I just think this is a little bit intense. And yesterday it was kind of like patchy a little bit. So before we went out, I ended up like topping it with another blush, and I was just like, why would I need to keep that? So I'm gonna declutter that one because I have these two already and I feel good about it. Let's do these two. So I've talked about the Glow Core from Nudesticks, loving this formula, but these shades are slightly off. Like I never got down with the shades perfectly. So Rose Glow is like a mauve shade sort of, and then Peach Pearl. Like these are definitely shades I would normally like. I think the problem is they're quite pigmented. This is Rose Glow, and this is, again, do you see like how deep this kind of mauve is? This is just the kind of mauve that, again, I just don't know that I reach for deep mauves like that. And then there's the peach, but the peach is more pink than peach for me. I just think of like, if you're gonna do a peach, it's probably gonna be pink, but if you're gonna do a coral, it's gonna be pink and peach. Something about these colors has always just kind of been off, and again, they're very opaque. So you don't get a lot of like play with them, if that makes sense. Let's start with this peach petal. What did I call it? Peach pearl? It is peach pearl. Oh, it's too early. Oh, by the way, I have not even had my full cup of coffee yet. Okay, let's do that. Yes. All right, I'm taking the e.l.f. brush, but I am gonna tap it off a bit. Again, it's just that these colors have been off. It's not a formula thing. The formula is super duper glowy, and I like that. Using a stippling brush though, it's going to be less glowy, but if you use a fluffier brush, you're gonna get a glowier finish out of these. Do you see how this doesn't even look peach? This is a muted mauve in my personal opinion. How is this peach, y'all? I don't get it. These, again, were probably some of my favorite formulas when they launched last year. They're on sale right now too at Sephora, by the way. And I don't know if that means they're phasing them out, because I also did get Peach Pearl at TJ Maxx, pretty discounted. So they're like $13.25 at Sephora right now. All right, and this one, I don't know, it's too deep of a mauve, not muted enough for me. Let's take the Flower Beauty one. I'm just like barely tapping this. Again, these are so pigmented, you don't need a lot. This is the one that I fell in love with, the formula that I went back for, Peach Pearl. So yeah, it didn't start with two, but I kind of knew I wanted another shade from this. Yeah, using this stippling brush, I'm barely getting a glow. Like these can be super, super juicy, and a stippling brush always makes the formula for me just like a lot less glossy. Okay, like how different are they even? I do think that Rose Glow looks like a muted mauve shade. It has like a warmness about it that I just don't think makes it extremely mauve-y. Peach Petal, it's a lot brighter, but I like this one so much. It's the left and right thing again. Oh gosh. You know, around the candy time around office, all I do is grab for people's chocolate that they have on their desk. Like it's like making my lips swollen. And then chocolate just makes me break out. I'm having such a hard time. This is like too bright for what I'm like currently reaching for, but I don't think these will necessarily go bad. It's really making my lips swollen. I'm gonna hold on to both of these. If I decide like later on that I wanna get rid of one, it's gonna be the peach one for sure. All right, I'm gonna do these ones pretty early on so I don't like run out of steam and then like decide not to do them or something like that. But these are the Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Face Trios from Morphe, and I got two shades when I originally got them. But I thought I would really enjoy this because I got to swatch them in Ulta, and I thought, oh, this is like delicious and looks like a one-size dupe. The shades that I have are Beach Bonfire and Blind Date. I didn't end up loving these quite as much, and they kind of fall in line with the one size, except the one size has a powder highlighter and a powder blush, where this one has a cream highlighter. You know, like that's kind of the only difference here. And I think that I really enjoyed the cream in these, but the highlighter, I don't know, I didn't like on its own, so I was topping it with the powder. You know what? I never got convinced that I really enjoyed these. I think I'm gonna take a little spongy sponge, like with this cream on each of these. Now, the reason that I said I'm gonna pull these out now is because I gotta do one on either side of the cheek. I'm gonna put the powder down on one side and then the cream on top of it, and then the cream just by itself, you know? The cream highlight on top of the powder blush. So it's a really balmy texture when it comes to the cream formula, and the highlight is pretty pigmented when you swatch it, but then it's not super pigmented when you put it on the cheeks. It's like, you know, mostly sheer. You're losing a lot of the base that's happening, which is normal for a highlighter. You know, typically you're not going to pick up as much as you do when you swatch it. So I always take the cream by itself. I like the way that that looks best on its own. I don't layer all three of them together. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't think it's like a Patrick Ta situation. And even then, I don't take the Patrick Ta ones and put them on top of one another. I like them separately. That's just how I am. Yeah, this is really pretty buffed out like this. again, you know, I'm going in super light-handed so that I don't disturb my makeup too much. And that's been a game changer for like testing these. Have I been going too heavy, I think is kind of the question. All right, I'm gonna take a Sigma large angled, it's a contour brush, oh well. And I'm gonna go into the powder side, and we're gonna do powder on this side and then top it with the highlighter, the cream highlight. I need more coffee, y'all. I kind of really like this color. I don't know that I want the other one because it's like even more pink. This is Beach Bonfire, which I think was going for peach, but I don't know. On me, I think it looks awfully pink. Okay, like individually, those are gorgeous. Remember, I'm not going all the way back. Like I don't want to take off too much foundation. Yeah, individually, these are absolutely beautiful. And this with the butt end of the sponge did not disturb any of the foundation. Let's go into the cream, which is a little bit of a more whipped texture, unlike the cream blush, which is balmy. They could have done the highlight in like a really balmy way, and I feel like that would have made the highlight better. Ooh, the highlight is just sparkly. That's kind of why I like it on top of the powder. It's more like a topper, but not on its own. I do like the Beach Bonfire one. Now we'll put this one on in Blind Date, which I just think is maybe a little bit too pink for me. So let's try it. You know, the thing is, I would get more of the one size if it weren't for, I can't find a shade that I really enjoy in the one size. The one I have is orange, but you know, none of them really seem like something I would like. You know, I know that like super baby pink one, that's the swatch by the way, has been super popular, but that's definitely not a shade for me. They also have like a neutral one too, but I almost felt like that's what I should have gotten, was the neutral one instead of this one, because it's a little too bright pink for me. Of course, like shearing it out looks really delicious. I'm telling you guys, game changer when you go in lighter. I have always like gone in super heavy with these blushes when I'm first trying them because I'm trying to give it the full test. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. All right, same thing, same brush. We'll go in on the other side with the powder. Oh, it's a little extra bright. You know, unfortunately I didn't really get to like put these side by side, powder to powder, cream to cream. So maybe I should have done that to see like how different they look. I don't know. I don't like the powder in either one. I mean, like if I had to pick, it would be the powder and Beach Bonfire. All right, cream. Yeah, I could do without this damn cream. I'm telling you guys, it's like sparkly and it's a total different texture. If it was balmy, I think I would like it a lot better than like this, which is like this moussier texture that just looks kind of glittery. I mean, it's not bad, but sometimes I feel like I just use it to use it and I'm not using it because I really enjoy it. This is too bright on this side. Like the powder in Blind Date, too bright for me. So I'm gonna actually pass that one along and then keep the Beach Bonfire. Okay, so this is old. The next one we're gonna do from M Cosmetics, the So Soft Blush Stick in Venetian Rose. Probably one of my favorite cream blush formulas in a stick that I ever had once upon a time. Is the cap is like sticky, but it's my first cream blush stick. I'm pretty sure it's the first one I ever purchased. So that tells you like how old it is. And then the Nudies Matte in the nude. You guys, so many people love this formula. I just can't get down with it. It's so dry. You really have to like warm this up before you put it on to get it juicy because it's dry. And in the nude, like I get that they were going for a nude shade. Bam! That is so freaking orange. Sorry for getting loud, but goodness gracious. Like what are they thinking? Let's go ahead and do the Venetian Rose first. Both of these are shade things. Also the Nudesticks though, it is about the formula. It always feels extra dry putting it on. So I've always kind of been like, it's just not my favorite. Like it feels tuggy. It feels super dry. This one from M Cosmetics, it still smells like nothing. It smells fine, but you know what? It was always like a shade issue. It's that really deep mauve and it's so pigmented too and it's quite opaque that, you know, I used to like shades like this, but now I just think they look so stark on me. Ooh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I can't. I don't know if I can get rid of it. I really don't, you guys. It's extra though. I even went in extra, like I barely tapped it off, but I can't I can't. This was my first blush stick and I feel like I'm sort of attached to it. Plus it has a really good formula. It lasts so long, you barely need any. The shade is just a little bit intense for me, just a little bit deep. All right, let's go into this Nudesticks one. I've warmed it up, so hopefully I like it better than when I usually just put it straight on. But this isn't really like a nude shade. It's like a really warm orange. That's fine, like nudes can be warm and cool, I guess. I kind of think it's more orange than nude. I think of nude as like having less peach and it's more taupe in it. Stop it. Stop. That's so pretty. It really is. But man, learn how to apply these formulas, Carrie. So I hate how dry it is when you first start it. So like warm it up, take off the top layer, and then look how juicy it gets. And it gets dry so fast because it's a matte formula. The thing is, it's wet right now. So maybe I'll sit with it for like a second to see if it really is gonna dry down and how that looks. Cause I hate when the freaking formula looks like flat matte. Matte is okay, but sometimes the edges are so stark because of the pigmentation and the opacity of the blush, like it does not look good. And you can't always tell that with a cream when it's wet because just naturally it's wet. It's a cream. But look at the M Cosmetics, still glossy. It's so bright though, like it's so deep. Oh, and by the way, the cap has never closed on this Nudesticks one, so that always pissed me off. All right, we're gonna keep both of those. All right, the next two, pretty much shade. So I have one from Merit. This is in Cheeky. I think I did pick this shade because I had Beverly Hills already, but they had reached out to me and let me choose this. So I did receive this in PR. It's just that Cheeky is kind of like a deeper berry. This has never been my favorite formula because it's like on the sheer side, but I did mention the last time that I put these on that I'm so much more into like a sheer formula, and so I like these a lot more than I used to. And then the second one is from RMS Beauty. This is a lip to cheek, so it's also for lips, but it's not a color that I would use for my lips. I did get a red shade in an advent calendar in a mini in one of these, which I like so much more for my lips. But this one is in Demure. It's a very, very bright poppy pink. So we'll try that one second. The Merit one, I still think I'm gonna pick up with a brush. I don't think I'm going to draw this straight onto the cheeks because my foundation's a little bit thick. And my foundation's always a little bit thick. I do enjoy like a pretty full bead of foundation. Very, very sheer. Oh my gosh, so sheer. How do you not like how is this even a shade, you know? It's like a shade like every other shade. It's not shading. It's not shading a lot. No, that's gorgeous. She gorgeous. I said it's like a plum, but maybe not. Like Beverly Hills is a lot warmer and this is a cooler tone. This is almost pink when you put it on, you know? It like doesn't look like that. That's probably what it is. I haven't worn it very much, so like I don't remember, but yeah, like look how pink it is compared to how I think it's gonna look, especially, you know, because I forget that it's like super duper sheer. I'm gonna hold on to that one. There's the one in Demure from RMS. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a stiff in gold. It's kind of like a kabuki, you know, but just like smaller. This one is like super duper bright pink. Oh, it's not also the shade on this one, it's also the form. It's kind of a sticky formula. You know, those lip to cheeks, they often have a stickiness, like a thickness and a stickiness to them because they're meant to stay on your lips. But I've never been sold. Like, I'm not the hugest fan of this formula. The red, though, I did wear on my lips and really liked, but this is too white-based for my lips. Can't do it. I don't know, it's so baby pink. Do I ever reach for like a baby pink like this? It kind of is Demure. It's so white-based, though. No, I'm gonna pass it along. I never reach for it, and I never think to grab for shades like that. Anyway. Oh, are you hiding, little girl? Do you want in here? Come on, you want to see the people? You guys, my little dog was sniffing at the door. I think my son was getting in trouble. So she was like, no, I don't like that. Come here, mama. Oh my gosh, here she is. She's so scared, like, what is this? This is Pudding. We rescued her. She was found at like 3 pounds on the street. Yes, she was a baby. My son named her Pudding. And oh, look at her. She's a cuddle bug, and she's part whippet. She's like shaking right now. She's so scared. She's a nervous little Nelly. She really is, but oh my God, this dog can cuddle. Really. She's mixed with something else. I mean, you can tell, but you can really see the whippet in her. Like if you look up whippets. Why are you so scared? Why are you so shaky? Don't do it. And my other older dogs are like, get away from me. Because all she wants to do is eat them. Play, 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 play. Look at her. She's like holding on for dear life. What is got you all nervous? You're safe. You're safe. She's only 3 months old. 3 months and 5 days. She was born July 13th. But man, she's growing fast. She's not fixed yet. She goes to get fixed next Wednesday. She ended up getting sick. She got Giardia somehow, which is a parasite if you guys don't know. And I noticed that she was like throwing up and her, stuff was not solid. So she had the sterilization appointment scheduled because I had already paid for it. I contacted them and I was like, I am absolutely not sending her. Something is wrong. So I took her to the vet and she had Giardia. So she's actually still showing trace levels of it. So she's still on antibiotics. So we postponed her sterilization. She'll be done with her antibiotics today. All my animals, they just cost so much freaking money. My other big dog's going for surgery on Wednesday, so lovely. It's like a little farm here. All right, she'll stay here. We typically don't like sleep with our animals. That's just not my thing. But she is one that absolutely loves to cuddle, so we will sleep with her. She's just a hardcore cuddler, like way more than the other dogs. Although the big dog Diesel would probably like to cuddle. All right, let's go through these 2 mini liquids. I have one from W7. This is the Cheeky Dip. This is the liquid blusher. It's actually like a tester, and I got this in an advent calendar last year, and the shade is literally nowhere on here. It's bright pink. Again, it's not a shade I typically reach for, so that's kind of why I wanted to test it again, because I love this formula. It's so easy, it's so pretty. W7 usually does a really good job. I have them at my local CVS, but they are a UK-based brand. Oh, stop it, stop it. You can really sheer this out. I think I was drawing this straight onto my cheeks when I first got it. Oh, this is also a stain, I forgot to tell you. Anyway, super duper good formula. Yes, I'm gonna keep this. Like if it comes down to like a really beautiful, like super pinky over this one from RMS. Yeah, this is the one I would like. It's just so small, like gets swallowed. Okay, moving on. The blush drops from Rodial, Sun-Kissed liquid blush. That's the shade Sun-Kissed. I'm pretty sure. Is that correct? Yes. So this is also just like a sampler. Oh, I hear her doing something. Hey, this is metallic. I got it for like $2 on, where did I get this? Ipsy. I talked to you guys about the metallicness. Am I staying away from the metallicness? Is it too metallic? Wow, that just dried so fast. It soaked up everything. I mean, my hand soaked up everything from the swatch and nothing really picked up. Some metallic formulas that I like. You know what? We're just gonna have to draw it straight on because it's not picking up enough. I just had to scream at her. She literally just moved the light. I can't even tell you how she moved the entire light. Oh, it's because she's straight up licking the stand. Like, what a weird dog. You literally can't leave her alone. She's destroying everything. I like this color, and I mean, it's metallic. I'm gonna let this go. The older I get, the more that I just feel like this looks kind of childish when it's not smooth. Like, it draws so much attention to that part of my face. So I'm gonna pass this along, and we're obviously keeping the W7. That was a great formula. Let's do this one from Lawless, the Pinch My Cheek Soft Blur Cream Blush and Rosebud. This is a formula thing, not a shade thing. I got this last August, so it's over a year old. The thing is, I don't love this formula. It's a very cream to powder, but it's like how do you describe this? It feels silicone-y. That's what it feels like. And it's not a delicious formula on my cheeks. Okay, actually, I really like that. Now that I'm into like a much more muted blush, I can see that I like it. I think I didn't love it before because I don't know, it wasn't pigmented enough. But speaking of similar shade but pigmented, the next one I want to try is from Rose Inc. I have not grabbed this in a while. The Lip and Cheek Color in Camellia. I mean, part of this is like, it's a thick whipped texture, very pigmented, super opaque, but sticky. That's that thing again, guys, where if it's a lip product and a cheek product, it tends to be more sticky, which is the case with my Bobbi Brown ones. Now, I really like this formula. Like, I think it lasts a long time. I'm going in with a fluffier brush, obviously. Something this pigmented, tap it off, fluffy brush, don't stipple. I think this is actually really pretty. Like, both of these look exactly the same. But yeah, something like the Bobbi Brown that I really like, sticky. That's just what they do, I think. The thing with this one is it's not gonna last that much longer, so I'm gonna have to make a concerted effort to try and use it up because it's on the older side. You know, like over a year. I mean, even though the Lawless one it's a drier formula. This one, I feel like, I mean, look at it. It's so thick and so whipped. Gosh, you don't hardly need anything. Both of these are absolutely beautiful for the shades they are. I can tell you, I'm not really reaching for shades quite like this right now, but both of these are a beautiful formula. I will say, I think the Lawless has a little bit more of a glossier finish, if that's even possible. Like, both are pretty. Do I actually need both? It's that left side of the cheek is so much more textured than the right. Like, my right cheek is so smooth, and then my left cheek is not. I wonder if that has to do with my scar. Now I'm mad. All the things I'm noticing from my dog bite over the years of doing YouTube. Okay, let's go through some more liquid formulas. This one is from Gloss Gods, an indie brand. I do have a discount code with them too, I'm pretty sure. It's in my description box. This is actually a really nice formula in Babe, but I picked this shade and I was like, is this a little too bright? This would be kind of one of those formulas that I'd look at and I'd think, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pigmented and it's gonna be so matte. I think this one actually has a bit of a glossy finish and it's a little bit more subdued than super duper pigmented. You know, like the Juvia's Place ones that are crazy intensely pigmented, and they're very matte too, the matte ones anyway. And then there's other ones too, like I think the Moira's are a little bit juicier than that, but like all the other liquid blushes that were coming out kind of at the time. You know, I don't reach for this one that often. Part of the reason is because of the shade, but look how delicious that looks. Like if I'm going for like a bright one, that's just not too intense. So this one is very different than a lot that are kind of in this component for me in my collection. I'm gonna keep it. It's also staining too, see it? The next one is the Tarte Man-Eater. This is the satin blush. So I have the dewy, what's it called? The dewy something. I like that one a little bit better, but this is the satin blush cheek plump and it's in the shade Mauve, which is a very cool tone mauve shade, which is part of the reason that I got, well, it is the reason that I got this, but it's the satin formula, which is different than the other one, which is super juicy. But I didn't love the satin finish on this as much as I thought I was going to. So I was like, oh, you know, I love the shade, but I don't like the satin. It wasn't glossy. Something about it I just didn't love. But let's see if my little light application will change the way I feel. It's kind of like pulling up some of the foundation back here. Okay, it could be my brush, let's be honest. I literally just set this, or just applied this foundation, so. Does it stay cool toned? Because it kind of just looks like it turns pink. Like there's not a lot happening here, you know, in terms of like pigment. I don't know, I kind of really do like this, like lightly tapped like this. Like it has that little bit of a glossy finish. It's not as juicy as the other one, but it's not really intended to be. I'm just like reigniting my love for some of these. Both of these are deliciously just, oh, I'm gonna keep this one. All right, the next ones are also stains. These are from KARIM. I don't even know if KARIM still makes these. KARIM tends to drop things and then they go away. This is the SoCal Super Bloom Lip and Cheek Hydrating Sauce Stain. I don't know that I've tried these on the lips. I don't know that I want to. This one is in the shade Wildflower, which may be the one that I end up keeping because the super bright one is in Heat Wave, and I don't remember enjoying that as much. Now this is a really interesting formula. It looks whipped on the doe foot, but it is a very juicy formula and it can be pretty sheer, but it's a stain at the same time. It's kind of a weird formula. I mean, I almost think this is a cream. Clean lip tint and blush. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to use these on my lips, but I suppose I could. Wildflower and a Heat Wave. So one thing I've never done with these blush is pick them up from the back of my hand. Let's go into Wildflower first. I have always drawn them onto my cheeks, and you know what? They're kind of extra emollient, and so they have lifted my foundation terribly. The last time I put these in a Shop My Stash, like an everyday makeup drawer, I was hating them because all they were doing was lifting the foundation underneath. And again, I think I was like using them like by putting them straight onto the cheeks. Now they're lifting the foundation. Yeah, I don't know. They're juicy and glossy, but like I wear a full bead of foundation. See what it's doing to my freckles? Like it's lifting what's going on underneath. It doesn't matter what freaking brush I use. And then it just doesn't look right. Not with the amount of coverage that I wear. Like if I went in straight to my cheeks, it might be different. Let's see what these look like on the lips. I don't like that color on my lips. Oh, wait, yes I do. Yes I do. Have I been like messing this up this whole time? Because I do not like that on my cheeks, and not one single bit. Let's try Heat Wave on the other side since we're here. And then I think we can probably try it on the lips too. I'm gonna take a way fluffier brush. It's still like a kabuki style, but it's a much fluffier. It doesn't have a lot of density to it. Yeah, it just lifts every bit of the foundation. It's just not a good blush if you have a full bead on. That's all it's gonna do is take it up. See, oh my god, look at that. The brush just busted. Okay, let's finish with just this before we chuck it. Like, these are great for just no makeup days, you know what I mean? Like, they're not packing a ton of pigment when you're picking them up from the back of your hands. They're just kind of like a flush of color. And they're so freaking juicy. But they're terrible. They're terrible on top of a lot of foundation. I like the Heat Wave one more on my cheeks. Yeah, that's nice on the lips. Okay, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move these to my lip drawer. I don't like these on the cheeks very much because I don't care for how much they disturb the foundation that I typically wear on an everyday basis. I can still use them for the cheeks if I decide to, but these are so comfy on the lips, and they're a stain and they're glossy. I was wearing one like this just yesterday, the Milani cheek stain, lip stain, whatever it is. Like, those didn't get a ton of hype, but they were some of my favorite when they launched. I think it was last year, and it's such an underrated formula because that stuff, it fades the gloss, but the color stays super vibrant. It's like more than a stain. It's almost like a liquid lip that's so comfy, and it stays all day, literally all day. I was wearing it all day. I put it on when I was filming for you guys. It lasted all night long. Like, I reapplied it to get it glossy again, but guys, I had to like scrub it off last night, and it stays looking fabulous. Let me get it. The Color Fetish. So Milani does a great job with lip products, I think. The hydrating lip stain. Oh, that's what it is. It's because it's a hydrating lip stain. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't dry down like a stain. It's like more than that. So anyway, these are fabulous, but I'm also gonna keep the Cali Ray, and then we're gonna throw this away. This was just like an off-brand. Like, where did I get this? Like, in a set, probably from like a, I don't know, subscription box. This is going to be like a 2-hour video. I can guarantee it. All right, the second to last ones are from Polite Society. Now, these are a powder blush stick, but I feel like they feel like cream. Now, this one I got first, and I really liked the formula in Sandy. And then Malibu came out, maybe limited edition. It launched all by itself, and it was a shimmery finish. But then there's no shimmer to this. And these are very dry, so they're not great to pick up with a brush, but like, they're also not great to draw on either. So this one is in Malibu. Like, you don't even see the shimmer, but that was what it was intended for. You can see it in here, but it doesn't translate. I want something dense. So I'm gonna take an IT Cosmetics Airbrush Full Coverage Complexion Brush number 77 and coat the crap out of this. The reason that I ended up getting this one, I think, is because I kind of liked it initially, but maybe, again, I'm just using the wrong brush to apply it. Because I can like see the sheen on this one now. You need a super heavy hand and a super flat, what do you call these? A foundation brush, basically. Now I can see the gold sheen. Oh, now you want to show. Oh, that's so pretty. I've been using the wrong brush for these, I'm sure. And then this one in Sandy, you know, it's supposed to be like a mauve shade, but it's so warm. So warm. Look at it. It's like a terracotta almost, you know? And I didn't love how warm it looked on my cheeks. I need another dense brush that's dry. Let's go ahead and use the sculpting brush from Real Techniques, the 401. Who knows if these are even made anymore? Oh, that is warm. Extra. Like, this is a really warm mauve. This is like that version of mauve that you'll just find in a lot of companies that just do super warm mauve shades. I think this is mauve. Like, I think the description calls it mauve. I think that's where I'm getting it from. But yeah, they do call it Sandy. Okay, you need really dense brushes for these, and do not draw these straight onto the cheeks. That is ultimately the tip for it. Do I need Sandy though? I am gonna hold on to Sandy. I'm gonna do it. The last two that I have to try, Buxom, the Wanderlust blush. Now, I kept this one over the other one that I had. This one is in Dolly, and I had, my gosh, I can't even remember. These are some of my original favorite radiant blushes. And I kept this one because it cast less gray than the other one. You know, these radiant blushes, like, I feel like that's what they do. Sometimes they cast gray on the cheeks when you're turning sideways, especially if the reflect in them is silver. So The other one that I had, can't remember the shade, was, oh, that's really pigmented, was Extra Silver Reflect. And, oh, I don't know, you guys. Oh, what have I done here? This is like too pigmented. And this one was less so, but these are really, yeah, these are really pigmented. Okay, let me brush this back. My foundation might have been like slightly wet. Oh my god, these are so pigmented. But yeah, some of my original favorites, but you know, I never reach for this, partly because I kind of remember it like being too pigmented, like more so than I'm into now, but also that they do look a little, I don't know, like they don't blend in the best because they're so pigmented. You know, does that make sense? Like sometimes when they're super duper pigmented and they're like a little bit of a stickier formula, this thing is bothering me, they don't blend in the greatest. No, that is pretty. I got that to blend in. It's almost like a purple reflect. Do you guys see like the almost purple reflect that it gives? I don't think I blended in the greatest like right here, but you know, I wasn't like paying attention. I mean, I didn't realize like how pigmented this was gonna be. Yeah, I think I will keep this one. The very last one is from Ciate London. This is like a $2 blush that I got on Ipsy. It has like an overspray to it. It's the Perfect Match blush, longwear skin brightening blush. Sorry, in the shade Perfect Match. And like, it's so powdery. It feels so rough. And it's not really like an overspray. It like is a really radiant blush. I mean, I like it. It's just, it's like hard. It's very hard. No, it is like an overspray. See it? You see that? I don't know about this one. And I wanted this blush for the longest time because I've seen other people have it and it's so pretty. It's like in this little candy cane drop. That's gotten me over the years. But then when I saw this little tester, I was like, oh, let me try this. Let me see what I think. You know what I think I need to do? I need to go all the way back because I'm leaving these blush on. But then I was like, that's a little underwhelming because it's an overspray and it feels so stiff, but it is so pretty though. Oh god, and it's not overly texturizing. Do you guys see it on the extra texture face? I've been filming with this freaking video for too long. Yeah, that's pretty. I am gonna keep it. I recently just got that. Like, I already forgot whether or not I liked it because since I did the speed reviews, you guys, I've not touched it since then. It's been a couple of months. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this blush all the way back because I'm now keeping it on. Ooh, they are not the same. I will say, go in so lightly with this Buxom Wanderlust blush. This is one of my oldest powder blushes in my collection. But I cannot get rid of this. And by the way, the Wanderlust blushes that are in the cream formula, actually I think they're called something different. I don't know. They're not as good. I will say, like, I got a shade in Dolly and it was like this terracotta color. I was like, what is this? Yeah, it's like a purple reflect. It's really pretty. And this one's like kind of a silver one. But as far as a shimmery formula, it's not overly texturizing on the really textured cheek. Okay, you guys, that was everything. Thank you so much if you stuck in here to the end or if you came back to this video several times. This was an exercise that I needed to do for myself, but also I felt like it would be fun to film or that I would be remiss if I didn't put it on camera just because I am such a blush lover. Blush dominates my channel quite a bit, so if I didn't put out content like this, going through this exercise, it just wouldn't even make sense for my channel. But also, I didn't think that I was gonna get enough Shop My Stashes in order to do this or to really sit down and be thinking about it when I'm not rushing to get to work. So I enjoyed it, even though it took me 3 days. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna do a count for you guys to show you guys what I ended up keeping versus what I ended up decluttering. Now, I didn't do half or anything, but we started with 65. I actually added some more as I was filming, like over the 3 days. So total was 65 that we ended up trying on, and I ended up keeping 46, which doesn't surprise me that I kept more than I decluttered. Usually I'm pretty good about getting rid of things if, you know, if I really didn't like them after speed reviews and not holding on to them, except when I am uncertain about a formula or if the application is like different at different times that I'm putting it on. So I did end up decluttering 19 in total, which wasn't quite 20, which wasn't quite half, but it still feels good that 19 are gone and then 46 are like still reignited. I mean, that's like not bad. I meant half of the number that I ended up keeping. So like that ended up being like nearly just less than a quarter. So I do feel good about it because these are all formulas that were uncertain in my mind and it felt good to like put them back on. But also I'll probably be wearing some of these formulas in upcoming Shop My Stashes and like everyday makeup drawers, you know. I still have other ones that I need to test, so they may not be the first ones that I grabbed for, but anyway, it was nice to do this video. That's basically the summation of it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I would love to see you subscribe. I'm out of here and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.